So if I had to go back in time to before I even started working out, I'd find a less athletic version of myself. But knowing what I know now, I would focus on these things to get started, to keep it simple and focus on the things that really matter, and then also just refining that process to get the results. And if I would have just done that, I would have got stronger way faster. So anyways, this is just the honest advice I'd give to anybody who's looking to start working out or start getting into it. Let's get into it. And the first thing I would say is to make a decision and make it a priority. We really only have so much time and energy throughout the day. And if you don't place any importance or focus on your goal, it's going to be pushed to the side as you're going to fill that space with other things. And wherever we place our energy and effort, we're going to improve. Although the average person has a lot of things that they care about, but just placing some importance on fitness and making it a part of your life is key. Because the more importance you place on it, the more you're going to do it. And of course it has all these like benefits and stuff, but I've never once seen someone say like, I'm getting healthier and like work out for that reason alone. I mean, some people love that stuff, but it doesn't motivate me. So giving yourself a reason to drive past some of the challenges that are going to come up is important in my opinion. Most people never give themselves a reason that drives them and motivates them to get past these initial stages, because when you first start working out, it's not as fun as when you get into it and you start to enjoy the process itself. So to get over that initial uncomfortable stage, you have to have a reason and something that drives you to get past it. If you just think about it, why would you do something that's not fun all the time, that takes effort, if you don't really care about it? You have to give yourself a reason to care. And that's why goals and reasons are so important, because they give you that initial drive and energy to go after it. And just speaking from my own experience, the things that helped me take that initial action were, one, I wanted to get my first dunk. I was a basketball player and I really wanted to dunk, and I knew I had to get in the weight room for that. I also wanted to see some muscles on my body for the first time. And I also kind of felt a little bit weak at that moment in my life. And I didn't like that feeling. I kind of wanted to change it. That's all it took for me to get that initial energy to just go for it. And I think that's different for everybody. You got to find a reason that's true to you, true to what you want, and something that you care about. At least it's helped me. And just having those reasons that I mentioned before, I was able to take action, and I went to the basement of the YMCA where the weight room was, and I was like, I'm going for this. Long hallway you gotta go through to get there, and there's flickering fluorescent lights. It was actually like straight out of a horror movie. I thought some chick was gonna walk like this backwards towards me, you know, with the neck going like this. Fortunately, that didn't happen, and I was a little hesitant to go, but I kept walking down the hallway. And walking past me came this giant Jamaican dude. To this day, he was one of the biggest dudes I've ever seen. And he had those lats that went like this, and you know, you can't put the arms down. I was just walking past him like this, and he was actually really nice. And he even pointed me in the direction of the gym. He was like, oh, you need to go over there, man. It's a terrible Jamaican accent, but you get the point. He was really nice. And most people at the gym are super nice. So if you are feeling anxious or any of that, just go for it. Like once you're in there, you're gonna get more comfortable, and eventually all that stuff's just gonna go away as you realize that they're focusing on their own workouts and all that, and they don't really care. It's just one small decision, like to go to the gym, but it has such a big ripple effect. You know, you go there once, and if you just keep coming back slowly, you start to find yourself more comfortable in that environment. And then you start, you know, trying new things, trying new workouts, having more fun with it. You start to see progress. And once you see progress, then you really start to find joy for it. And just having that initial courage to take that first jump and that first decision of, I'm gonna do this, is really important. And I understand a lot of people hate this and they hate mindset stuff. They just want to be like, oh, just tell me what works. Which I'll talk more about how you can integrate it into your life later, but just having that commitment to yourself that this is what you do and going for it, I think is huge. And once you're starting to make a change and you're doing something a little different, you just want to keep it simple. Although it gets overcomplicated because of the fitness industry, it's really simple. It really boils down to two things: working out hard and then eating in alignment with your goals. Although that's easier said than done, and I still struggle with the diet thing sometimes. The other day I ate yogurt for the entire day, for the whole day. So the real goal here is to get ourselves to meet those two requirements. And on top of that, the fitness industry is gonna sell you all these things: routines, supplements, the 30-day belly fat shredding extravaganza, my ebook. But most of it is just extra stuff you don't really need. You gotta work out hard, eat in alignment with your goals. You can get better looking than 95% of the population if you just took a boulder and started chucking it up and down. Yeah, that being said, like some structure is nice. I'd say an upper-lower split is great if you're starting out. It just breaks it up nicely, and I'll link some routines below for free. It just gives you something to see and be like, okay, I'm gonna do this, this, and this. If you just work at it, you're gonna see progress and results. Fitness is awesome because you get what you put into it, and the effort that you give gets rewarded at the end. And I know I said like go for it and all that, but a lot of people when they jump into the training, they try to do it all at once. They say, you know, I'm turning over a new leaf. And then they just start going crazy in the gym, which I'm all for. Like I love a good workout. But then they wake up the next morning and they can't move. And just understanding that the habit of working out and consistency is more important than what you're doing for the workout. If you're just coming back every single day and then making small tweaks and changes and learning, you're gonna get jacked eventually. So just do that. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you gotta execute on it. As for your diet, that also doesn't have to be perfect, but it can't be horrendous. Otherwise, it's gonna, as they say, kill your gains. I experienced this firsthand in college when my diet was dino nuggets, bagels, and beer. Although I was kind of living the life with that diet, it was not supporting my training. And the moment I started to make little changes to my diet, I started to see an instant impact on my results. I completely chopped down, and then I was able to even do some cooler dunks that I had never thought would be possible, like the windmill and stuff. But when I made that change in my diet, I didn't do it all at once. It's the same as working out. You can't just flip over a new leaf and be a completely new person who has a perfect clean diet. It doesn't work like that. You wanna make one change at a time and make eating healthy as easy as possible. First, I eliminated the beer, then I eliminated the bagels, and eventually I even eliminated the dino nuggets, which of those three, if I was gonna do the kill Mary thing, I'm marrying dino nuggets any day. So that was a tough one to kick. As for your diet, you just need to eat a proper amount of protein and then eat in alignment with your goals, whether it's a calorie deficit or a calorie surplus or maintenance. We all have a certain amount of maintenance calories to maintain our weight, and if we wanna lose weight, then we have to eat less than that maintenance level. The hard thing is to do that. One way I like to do is push my meals off to the end of the day. You know, they say breakfast is the most important meal of the day, but that was actually lies told to us by advertisers in the mid-20th century by cereal companies. Cereal companies wanted us to eat breakfast, so they said breakfast is the most important meal of the day. You also just want to eat foods that are more bang for your buck. For example, instead of eating ice cream, eat Greek yogurt. You can eat 3 tubs of Greek yogurt for 1 tub of ice cream. It's kind of insane. It's 300 calories versus 1,000 calories. If you're trying to gain weight, eat that calorie-dense stuff. Also, eat your breakfast. It's the most important meal of the day. Trying to get calories in here, people. Shove it down your throat even if you feel like throwing up. That was my mindset about it. I was like, oh, I have such a small appetite. I can't eat that much. But you just start shoving it down your face. I really tried to bulk when I was a freshman in college and I had that unlimited meal plan. I would just shove my face full of food. At a certain point, it does get a little bit uncomfortable because you don't want to eat, but you just keep eating, whatever it takes. And you might lose your six-pack a little bit. Some people say a skinny six-pack doesn't count, but I mean, it's a six-pack, I count it. Although I would say that if you do lose that six-pack for a little bit and then cut down, the six-pack's gonna be way better and look way cooler. In that situation, you just have to have faith that you're gonna get it back and believe in yourself. I would be careful because some people become forever bulkers and they just continue to bulk forever. But that's gonna make it harder to do calisthenic skills, and you wanna just chisel away so you can see the rocks beneath. That's my 2 cents at least. As they say, the body's a temple. As for supplements, the only ones I ever took were creatine monohydrate and I drank some protein powder. Both of these aren't necessary, but they can be helpful. Of course, if you train better and especially eat better than I did, you'd see results way faster, but it took me like 3 years to get a body I was really proud of. Like I said, we wanna make this a long-term habit because at the end of the day, you really have to be patient. You can have the most perfect workout routine and have a perfect diet and still not see results for a while. And as I went on, the thing that was motivating me the most was the progress that I was seeing. So if you can just focus on how you're improving day to day and kind of have a competition with your past self, you'll start to be proud of the progress that you're making, and it's gonna allow you to be patient and wait for those long-term results that you're looking for. Because it doesn't happen overnight, but by slowly improving the choices that we're making, we can start to see some pretty cool results. So you decide to take the jump, then you keep it simple and focus on the things that matter and that are gonna bring the results. And once we're there, we wanna focus on the process and trying to make it maintainable and enjoyable. Honestly, I wish they focused more on like psychology and behavior change in fitness. Everything else is pretty much stupid and a waste of time. And I'd include my own stuff in that as well. Well, I shouldn't say that because it helps you get structure and helps you know like what to do. But I think way too much focus gets put on like the workouts that you do. I don't think it matters that much. It's probably 30% of the problem. But if you look at the person, the average dude on the street, their problem isn't what they're doing for the workout, it's that they can't get themselves to take action or they don't want to take the action. And if they were to just focus more on their behaviors, their daily actions, and how they can change those little things, they'd see way more results. And the main goal is to just make it a part of our life and make it something enjoyable that we look forward to in our daily routine. That's the end goal, is to just work out because you intrinsically like to do it. To do that, we need to make it a habit. So as you make a commitment, you make friends with Jamaican people, and then you're starting to do your workout routine and you're keeping it simple, focusing on the things that matter. The next step is to make it a part of your life and make that process smooth. And the first thing you can do is environment. If you have junk food in your fridge, you're probably gonna eat it. At least I would. I'd go crazy on it because it's in my fridge. And at the end of the day, we only have so much willpower. We have a little ball of willpower. And as the day goes on, we get plucked at. By the end of the day, we have no willpower. we fall to our habit and whatever's around us. So whatever's in that fridge, whether it's healthy or unhealthy, you fall to it and you eat it. And your environment goes all the way up until fitness. You could have your goal placed in a place where you see it every day. You know, the whole placing your outfit out in the beginning of your day. And then starting small and focusing on one thing at a time. I've kind of mentioned this before, but trying to do it all at once, not the best idea. You just want to slowly make changes that are going to help you improve. So what's one thing that you can change right now that will have a massive benefit for you later? And lastly, try to find a way to enjoy it. I believe it takes a little bit of effort to get to that point, but if you can get to the spot where it's the thing that you actually want to do, having that intrinsic drive is going to be a lasting form of motivation. And then once you do get to your goals, you're not going to be all sad or say like, oh, is this it? Because you worked out for you and you were doing what you wanted to do. I guess what I'm saying is find that thing that you enjoy and make sure it's true to you and something that you really want. That way you go after it even when times get a little bit more difficult. And if you can get yourself to improve your choices that you make and make it a part of your life, find a way to enjoy that process. That's where the real progress, the real improvement comes from. At least that's my opinion. If you like what I had to say and you're looking to improve your face, here's a video for you right there.